Hello, my name is Anita Peters with Peters Realty Professionals in Loganville, Georgia, and I have some beautiful homes to share with you today. Information deemed reliable but not guaranteed. Hello, my name is Anita Peters with Peters Realty Professionals in Loganville, Georgia, and I have some beautiful homes to share with you today. Information deemed reliable but not guaranteed.
This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment. We're here downtown Loganville. It's July the 4th and we're getting ready for the big parade. This is an annual parade here in Loganville. Last year I think it would have lasted about an hour. I mean, it was a huge parade, and I'm sure today will be the same. The temperature is just couldn't be any better right now. It's in the mid 70s. A breeze is blowing and it's just fabulous weather conditions for a good parade. So we're just going to start here in just a few minutes. For the ones of you that haven't been downtown Loganville in a while, this pavilion behind me is just fabulous, and they can have all kinds of concerts here. They have it stair-step down in the back so people can sit. It's just fabulous the way they have transformed downtown here in Loganville. So if you haven't been downtown Loganville, put it on your calendar to come visit downtown Loganville.
But we are delighted to have each one of you here today, and the weather has turned out just beautiful, and I know they've got a committee that did that here in Loganville, and so that has worked very, very well. And we are delighted to have the Color Guard, the American Legion here, and we appreciate them so much. And to be able to be here at the Ray Nunley Pavilion here in downtown Loganville is very, very nice, and this has been a great, great addition to the city of Loganville. And we're just delighted that you came out to enjoy the parade today, and with the weather cooperating, I think it'll be a very, very enjoyable time. Okay, if you look, coming down the parade route here, we've got the Legion of Riders. So it looks like they're out in full color here today, so let's watch them come through, and let's give them a nice round of applause.
In Congress, July the 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence of the 13th United States of America. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and the nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute a new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to the effect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under the absolute despotism, it is the right, it is the duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former system of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of absolute tyranny over these states. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress, assembled appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right, ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from the allegiance to the British Crown, and that there are political connections between them and the state of Great Britain. It is ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they will have and shall have power to levy war, declare, conclude peace, contract allegiance, establish commerce, and to do all the other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that, Tony. Got someone coming up next, and Evelyn Boss. She's with the American Legion Auxiliary, and she's going to lead us in a pledge of allegiance. Come out up here, please.
For the greatest country on earth, let's all put our hands across our hearts and repeat the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evelyn. We appreciate that. And we're in for a treat here this morning. I know some of you have heard this gentleman, and his name is Mark Fitty. He's going to sing the Star Spangled Banner for us. Please, come out over here.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watch were so gladly gleaming, when the rocket's red glare, thy bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say doth that star-spangled banner yet wave, when the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. We've got the law enforcement personnel. We've got Police Chief Mike McHugh leading the way. We've got Dare Superheroes. Got other police vehicles here today. Captain America. Loganville Fire Department. And here's the Grand Marshal, Commander Jim Carmona. So let's give him a especially good welcome. Commander Sergeant Major there in the red. Charlotte Nash, Gwinnett County Commission Chair, the chairperson. We'd already introduced Tom Kirby, but he's walking. Let's give him a round of applause. Anybody come back here and they're walking around. And we got the mayor here, Honorable Dan Curry. We appreciate him and the job he does in the Loganville area. City Council people coming up. You hold on that wheel, Mike. You let Ann do the waving, please.
Can you reach it?
All right. Then we got Skip Blau, Candy out there. Probably gain weight if he ever gets over close to me. And we got Chuck Bagley, City Council. Hey, Chuck. And this is the Central EMS Services, and they do an absolute great job. I hope I don't need to be one of your customers, but we do appreciate everything you do. Let's give this group a big round of applause here.
Thank you so much. There you go. Thank you.
Tree service. Look out, throwing candy, and they're raring to go here today. If you have any difficulty with a tree in your yard, give them a call, they can take care of it for you. Got Johnny's Pizza behind us. They're waving, everybody's looking, they're all slamming trees. It affects me a little differently, but we're delighted to have you here. Johnny's Pizza. Natalie Lane, Mini Supreme, and then here comes they never saw this many beauty queens in one parade. Okay, we got young Miss Hart from Loganville. Okay. Wages Funeral Service. Everybody look alive. Look alert. Excuse me. National Hot Rod Association. I don't know why I thought they'd be moving faster, but it does look good. Get out of the way! Flashback games. Character walking and handing out Back pain. Right. Senior living community, if you haven't been there, you need to go out and look it over. Great facility there, Southern Plantation. Let's give them a big round of applause there. All right, this is Greater East Side Chamber of Commerce. Got the military covered out here today. Thank you. We appreciate everybody for their service. Yeah.
Happy Independence Day!
Oh, I got you. Yeah. AMAI Karate. I have 35. We've got the scout troop here. They put a lot of time and effort into that. Let's give them a good round of applause here. Got a lot of people out there walking. And here.
Hi there, I'm Emily Russell with Clearview Regional Medical Center, and today I am coming to you from our brand new Clearview Wound Healing Center. The Wound Healing Center just opened very recently, a couple of weeks ago, and is located at 705 Breedlove Drive, Suite 300, and they are open for business and seeing patients. And I am fortunate enough to be here today with our new program director of our Wound Healing Center, Miss Stephanie Berry. Thank you for joining me today, Stephanie.
Sure, Emily.
Thanks for showing us around. So our wound center has been open for how long?
It opened on Monday, June 16th. We got to see our first patient then, and slowly we've been ramping up. We have about 10 patients at this time. So
fantastic. Okay, so I hear about patients and I hear about wound healing, but what is the typical type of patient that you might see here at the Wound Healing Center?
mostly what we're looking for is chronic non-healing wounds. We want the wounds that the patient is really having difficulty, diabetic foot ulcers, venous stasis ulcers, anything of that nature we would like. We also treat patients for other things such as failed grafts, which we can put them in the hyperbaric chambers for and have some other advanced modalities, but it's usually a chronic non-healing wound of longer than a few weeks.
And you mentioned that that might be common with diabetic patients. Are there any other demographics that are suspect to having those non-healing wounds?
It really just depends on their makeup. One of the things that we do, we partnered with Healogics to open the center, and one of the things that they bring in is we are outcomes based. So we treat the entire patient. We start with nutrition and what's causing the wound. So it could be medications that they're on, it could be their nutrition, it could be hereditary, but we look for all the indications so that once we're treating the wound, we're treating the entire patient so the wound doesn't come back or they don't have something else. It could be a pressure wound. Maybe they've had surgery and they had limited mobility, so we also look for ways to help to offload the pressure and do other things to prevent the wounds from coming back.
Very good, very good. So a patient that comes to the Wound Healing Center, what could they expect upon that first visit here?
Well, the first visit takes some time, so patience and planning is great. We do have a few forms that you can fill out online. You can go to the Clearview website and you can fill out your patient history, bring your medications and the dosage for the medications on your first visit, arrive about 15 minutes early. There is a lot of paperwork because we do treat the entire patient. So depending on where the wound is, it is going to be about an hour to an hour and a half for that initial visit. It does take time. We take pictures. You get a lot of time with the physician and with the nurses to assess the wounds and go over your plan of treatment. So when you walk out the door, you know exactly where you're going, how long the treatment plan is roughly going to take, and what your next steps are. And throughout the course of the treatment, weekly visits are pretty standard, and if you're in the hyperbaric chamber, that's 5 days a week. If not, we like to see the patient at least once a week, if not twice a week, for dressing changes.
Okay, so your typical length of stay for a patient for that first visit sounds like it could be an hour and a half to 2 hours even. After that, is it pretty regular with an hour on each of those follow-up visits?
Some are less than 30 minutes. Okay. So once the patient is in here and we're reassessing that wound, we're usually taking measurements, There may be a small procedure that the physician has to do while they're here, but it's usually about a 30-minute visit after that, or less, depending on where the wounds are located.
And for how many visits or for how many weeks might the average patient be under your care?
If the patient is compliant and everything is working together, usually we like to see them healed within 30 days.
Fantastic. And I assume that that's probably really good news for a lot of those patients who have been struggling with non-healing wounds perhaps their whole life or for weeks and months on end.
Right.
To see that the end could be in sight within 30 days is very encouraging, I'm sure.
It is, and it's nice to see patients heal that haven't healed in a very long time using either the hyperbaric chamber or using some sort of dressing that we have or something else that allows them to heal and walk out the door and not have to deal with a wound they've dealt with for 6 months to a year.
Very good. So wound healing isn't something that you hear a lot about. Wounds are generally not a glamorous topic that anyone necessarily wants to talk about, but the great thing is that we have a center here right in Monroe to treat those non-healing wounds. We can do that quickly, we can do that efficiently, and you're under the care and supervision of all the staff here. So speaking of the staff, tell me a little bit about your physician that oversees as the medical director.
Well, we have Dr. Peter Skronowski, who's with us, and he is here 5 days a week. He is also a healogics physician. He's went through extra training, so he has extensive wound management. The fantastic thing that we also have is that he's a board certified plastic surgeon. So he has the ability to kind of see things as they're progressing and know more of a plan. And we work with the physicians that refer. So he will be able to speak to them and let them know if the patient's needing something else and where they need to go. But he's here 5 days a week. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, closed daily for lunch. And he also has some time set aside for surgery as well on Friday afternoons if need be.
Very good. So how does a patient get about coming here? Do they have to have a primary care physician referral, or can they self-refer? How does a patient get here?
The patient can call us directly.
Wonderful.
They don't have to have a referral. If we check the insurance and something is needed, then we can contact the primary care physician and get the referral, but they can call us themselves and schedule. And right now, as we're ramping up, we do have openings, so we're trying to see them same day.
Very good. Now, with it being summertime, I know there are a lot of insects out there and people playing outside and getting injuries and things like that. Do you guys treat things like spider bites or anything like that that has increased over time?
Yes, we do. And I would rather the patient come here and see us, and if it's not the right center, then we can get them in touch with who they need to go to. It's better to come early than to wait until later on and the wound be so severe that it's going to take longer and go through the pain of the wound. Just come here. We have an expert on site. Let him assess the wound. Let our nurses who are trained to look at it, look at the wounds, and if you don't need to be here, we'll get you where you need to be.
Very good, very good. Well, it's great to have such a wonderful resource right here in Walton County. And if you do have questions about Clearview's new Wound Healing Center, you can visit us online at www.clearviewregionalmedicalcenter.com. Go under Medical Services and then click on Wound Healing Center. In addition, they can call you guys here at the center direct at 678-635-8010. As Stephanie mentioned, they're open 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and you can reach out to them directly. Anything else that we want to let our viewers at home know about our Wound Healing Center?
We're just excited to open and offer this service to the community, and we look forward to meeting more members of the community and helping them.
Excellent. Well, let's take a step back and look at our hyperbaric chambers. We're here in the new Clearview Wound Healing Center, and we are fortunate to have Miss Crystal Ash with us, who is our technician for our hyperbaric chambers here. Now, Crystal, this is a hyperbaric chamber. What exactly does that mean?
It's a pressurized oxygen chamber, so the patient lays in there. And it's under pressurized oxygen for wound healing.
Okay, and so what would be the benefit of infiltrating oxygen into the body?
It accelerates wound healing. There's other benefits that they're researching, but right now that's what we're using it for.
Okay, so a patient would lie on the bed here at this end, and they would be slid into the chamber. Does anyone ever report being claustrophobic while they're in there?
Yeah.
So what are some things that you guys do to combat claustrophobia or the fear of being in there?
We try to just talk to them, maybe just help with their fear. They also prescribe medication for like anti-anxiety medications.
Very good. And what do they actually do once they're in there?
They just kind of lay there and watch TV, or they can bring a movie and put it in the DVD player, but that's just kind of hang out.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's kind of what the patient is going through, but explain to me the behind the scenes of what you're actually doing here to operate the machine.
I sit here and monitor them the entire time while they're there. They can talk to me, and I can pick up the phone and talk back to them. So if they have anything going on, I'm right there the whole time. So I just monitor the treatment the entire time.
Okay, and then what exactly is going on inside the chamber?
It's just a lot of pressure. That's pretty much all that they feel is just pressure.
So I've heard hyperbarics being referred to as a dive before. What exactly does that mean?
They refer it to similar as feeling like when you're diving underwater. So it's just like the pressure you feel, or similar if you're going up into airplane, the pressure you feel in your ears.
So is there equivalent of depth that you would be diving to in the chamber?
Most of the time it's about 33 feet of seawater that people dive to.
All right, so if we were to actually go swimming and go diving to 33 feet, we would feel the exact same pressure that we would here in the hyperbaric chambers. Okay, very good. Are there any other things that go into hyperbarics? For instance, do people need to have tubes put into their ear, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, possibly some people may have a lot of pressure in their ears, and they don't quite get the drainage that they need, so then they can get tubes put in their ears to help with not having any pain in their ears.
Helping with the pressure and whatnot. Okay, very good. Interesting. So how long have you been here at the Clearview Wound Healing Center has been open since June the 16th. And how long have you been working with hyperbarics?
About a year.
Okay, very good.
I went last summer to Healogic's corporate office and did training there, and worked at another wound care facility. Helped out in hyperbarics.
Well, good. Well, we're glad to have you here. So don't be scared of the hyperbaric chambers. It's definitely a healing methodology and can help those wounds to heal a lot faster. Not to mention the hyperbaric chamber itself is entirely encased. However, you can still see out of it. And watch TV, as Crystal was talking about, bring a movie, whatever you might need to do to keep yourself calm during one of these treatments. And how long does one of these treatment sessions actually last?
The treatment is about an hour and a half, but it takes time to get to pressure and to come back from pressure, so it's usually about 2 hours.
Okay. And how often does a patient normally undergo hyperbarics?
Every day, Monday through Friday. And they have a set time that they come every single day until their number of treatments are up.
Oh, what's the average number of treatments that a patient would have?
Usually about 40.
40? So that's a lot of diving in and out every day. Very good, very good. Well, thank you so much for telling us a little bit more about hyperbarics. And in the event that you want to come and check them out, you can stop by the Wound Healing Center, and Crystal can answer any questions that you might have about something like that. Thank you so much for visiting with us today at Clearview's Wound Healing Center. As I mentioned before, we're located right off of Breedlove Drive beside our old hospital location at 705 Breedlove Drive. The Wound Healing Center can be found in Suite 300. Their information can be found on our ClearviewRegionalMedicalCenter.com website, as well as their phone number is 678-635-8010. If there's anything that we can do to help you, a family member, or a friend with a non-healing wound, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We'd love to get a look at it and see what we can do to help you heal. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Rick Baker. I'm here for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth, sitting in for Dina Huff today. We are right in the middle of the summer season, and as our name implies, the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth, we are interested in the well-being of all who live here in Walton County. During these summer months, we love to get together with family and friends and have cookouts and go swimming and spend time at the pool and the lake. We enjoy trips with each other. But we want to remind you during these summer months to exercise some extreme caution. If you watch the news at all, you see almost daily someone who is drowned or been killed in some tragic accident. And this summer we would like for all the residents of Walton County to have a wonderful time this summer, but also to be mindful of others, to be mindful of your own surroundings. Make sure you buckle up when you drive. Make sure you don't drink or text when you drive. And as you're enjoying the summertime activities, be mindful of the children around you. It's so easy for a young one to slip off into a pool and drown. So just take care of yourself, take care of your families, have a great summer. And if we can be of any help to you at all whatsoever here, please call us at 770-207-6060, or you can find us online at thepartnershipwalton.org. Thank you and have a great summer.
Good morning. I'm Becky Chinhall. I'm a radon educator with the Walton County Extension Office. And I have a helper today, and her name is Ava Kate. And we're going to talk about radon and children. I know I talk to you about radon a lot and the dangers of radon, but so many times we forget about our little ones. And when we have children, we're so concerned about their safety and their health. When they ride a bicycle, we want them to watch out for cars. We want them to wear a safety helmet. If they're small, they need to be in a car seat. We're concerned about their safety then. We're concerned about what they eat. We want them to eat fruits and vegetables and nutritious food, and we want them to stay away from too many sweets. When we walk in the parking lot or on the road, we want to hold their hands and keep them safe. In our homes, we're concerned about any chemicals. We want to keep the cleaners that could be toxic away from the children underneath the sinks, in the kitchen and in the bathroom. We don't want them to get burned on a stove. We watch out for them that way. And so many other ways. We're so concerned about our children. But I want to tell you about something different today, and that's the air that we breathe. There's radon in the air all around us, and you can't see it, smell it, or taste it. But little ones are more apt to be exposed to high radon than adults. And let me tell you why. The air that we breathe is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% argon. And we have a very small amount of carbon dioxide. But get this, there's radon in our air also. And radon is a very heavy gas. It comes from the granite rock in our area. Granite has a lot of uranium, and the uranium decays into radon. And this gas is heavy, but it seeps up out of the ground. And remember I told you the composition of the air, nitrogen, oxygen, mainly those two, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen. The atomic weight of that is 29. And get this, the atomic weight of radon is 222. So if you compare those two weights, you know that radon is much higher at the lower levels. And you saw how Ava Kate, how small she is. She's going to breathe more radon than an adult at my height. And if you are in a house and it has more than one level, if you go from the basement to the first floor, or if you go from the first floor to the second floor, as you go up a level, the radon even decreases by 50%. So we want to protect our children from radon. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Yes, I know that people who smoke have a much higher risk of lung cancer, but those who don't smoke are at risk from radon also for lung cancer. 21,000 people each year die in the United States from radon-induced lung cancer. And 822 of those deaths are from people who live in Georgia. And this is according to the CDC in Atlanta, the Center of Disease Control. We want to protect our children. We want to protect our families. We want to protect adults, everybody, but especially the little ones. The little ones can't speak for themselves. They can't say, Mommy, Daddy, we need to get a radon test kit. So I'm telling the parents today, I want you to come to the Walton County Extension Office. We're at 100 North Broad Street, downtown Monroe, and the kits are $8 if you come and buy one in person. And that includes the laboratory analysis, the postage. All you have to do is hang your kit in your home for a minimum of 3 days, a maximum of 7 days. During that time, the kit will absorb the radon in the air, and then you seal the kit, mail it in, and you get your results back in about a week. 4 or above is considered high, and it's never going to be 0 because radon is naturally occurring. And it's so easy to test. Everybody needs to find out what their test result is. If it's high, the good news is it can be fixed. And your house doesn't have to be condemned. You can feel good about your indoor air. You know, we breathe every minute, and children breathe twice as fast as adults. We're concerned for our children, and we're concerned for our health. So please test your home for radon today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. April Mitchell, and I'm a veterinarian at the Monroe Vet Clinic here in Monroe. And today I'd like to talk about parvo. Parvo is a virus that is highly contagious in dogs, and it usually affects dogs less than 1 year of age. Any dog that is not vaccinated, however, is susceptible to developing parvo, but it is generally a disease of young dogs. The parvo virus is a virus that affects the intestinal tract of young dogs, and it invades the mucosal lining of the GI tract and causes severe damage. So what your dog may demonstrate if it was exposed to parvo is vomiting, which can be very severe, depression, and oftentimes bloody diarrhea. So these signs cause your dog to have severe dehydration, which allows secondary bacterial infections to take over, and your dog may become septic. The parvovirus can also affect the bone marrow and decrease the white blood cell production that is needed to fight these infections. So how does my dog get parvo? Well, it's really simple. It's usually a fecal oral contamination, and dogs love to sniff the ground and sniff other dogs' fecal matter and things like that. And it can live in the environment for quite a while. So it is highly contagious. If you take your dogs to dog parks, public places where dogs may not be vaccinated, they could be exposed. So you definitely want to make sure that your dog is currently vaccinated for parvo. And if you have a puppy, there's a series of 4 to 5 injections given 2 to 4 weeks apart that are required for protection against parvovirus. So these vaccines do cost money, and if you are going to get a puppy, it is very important to consider the fact that it's not just the cost of the puppy initially, but at the cost of the veterinary care and the nutritional care that's going to be required after getting the puppy. Unfortunately, we see a lot of times where people have spent all their money on buying the puppy, and then they have no money to spend on the care of the puppy, which to me isn't very logical. That seems to be the kind of thing that one should plan for before deciding to get a dog. But unfortunately, sometimes it's just not well thought out. It is very expensive to treat for parvo. It is very cheap to have them vaccinated for parvo. So the risk definitely are very high in our area in Georgia. And so if you are going to get a puppy, you need to be careful about what they are exposed to. Have you ever had a puppy with parvo before? Because if you have, then you probably should adopt an adult dog that is already vaccinated, because your puppy will be at risk just being in the same household as a dog that's previously had parvo. And you need to, immediately take them to a vet clinic and have your dog or your puppy vaccinated right as you get them, or to make sure they are on a current vaccine protocol. So the vaccinations are part of the distemper vaccine. It's the parvo is included in that. And like I said, it is very important is to get the full series of vaccines. One vaccine at 6 to 8 weeks of age is not going to protect your dog against these diseases, especially parvo. It is very, very important to follow through with the entire vaccine protocol. We do see puppies that have been vaccinated by the breeder, and then the owner did not follow up with any further vaccines because for some reason they only heard my dog is already vaccinated, and not realizing that there's actually a series of vaccines that are required boosters that are required so that your dog's immune system will be on alert to protect against developing the parvo vaccine. We have had cases of people that have not gotten anything but the 2 first vaccines, and then their dog developing parvo at age 2. So it is really important to follow through with your dog and be responsible in thinking ahead and planning financially about the care of the dog in the future. It's always great to get a fun, cute, precious puppy, but it's not so fun or cute, and it's very devastating financially and emotionally when that puppy gets parvo. They are terribly sick, and they do often die without proper veterinary care. So please think about it and read up about the parvovirus, know about it, so that before you get a puppy, you're prepared, because we really get upset here at our clinic when we have a sad case like this, and the owners of the puppy really thought their dog was protected, when in actuality that 1 or 2 series of vaccines was not enough at all to protect their dog. Once one dog gets it in a household, if you have other puppies, it will be spread throughout your household to all your other dogs if they are not vaccinated. So it is a very serious disease, and it is highly prevalent in our area. Dobermans, Pit Bulls, and Rottweilers are highly susceptible to it, but all breeds are susceptible. So just because you don't have a Pit Bull or a Rottweiler or a Doberman does not mean that your dog is safe at all. So please be responsible. Think about these things before the purchase of your puppy. Thank you. And if you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them. Please give us a call. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful in the Walton County Recycling Center, and want to thank you all for tuning in today. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on around here. We're starting out our new fiscal year, and we're ready to hit the ground running. We're happy to have some new customers coming in to start the year. We've been really busy through the spring, and as it heats up, it starts slowing down a little bit, but that does give us time to maybe show some of you that haven't been here before around and what we do, and it'd be a good time to come check out the place and let us show you a little bit about what we do and who we are. Some other things I wanted to talk about was that it's the time of year when a lot of people want to eat outside, do picnics, things like that, just a lot of outdoor activities. And we did want to remind everyone to put their litter in the proper place. And if you have recyclables, find a recycling bin, or if there's not a recycling bin in the area, take the recyclables or your trash home with you if there's not a trash can or a recycling bin. Please just don't leave that stuff laying around to be blown away. It's going to make a mess if you don't pick up your own trash there. That's just one of the things I wanted to remind you guys of this time of year. Also, we are starting to plan our Rivers Live event in October. And I think we've sent out some feelers to some of the scout leaders and things like that to let us know if you're interested in volunteering this year. And that would hold true for anyone else that would like to get out for a good cause. It's one of our bigger events. Last year we had over 300 volunteers. We're really proud of our event. It's grown so much, and it is a good way to make sure we're keeping up our rivers and waterways here in our county, and we all know how important that is. So if you are interested, just give us a call, or you can go to our Facebook page and let us know you're interested, however you'd like to do that. Our phone number down here is 770-267-1421. We'd be happy to talk to you about it. And if you have any other questions about recycling or somewhere you might need to dispose of any trash or larger items you might have, just give us a call. We're here to serve you guys, and we look forward to seeing you. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, I'm Isaac with Reboot Computer Company, and we're going to do the Reboot Tech Tip today. Today I want to talk a little bit about phones. You know, these smartphones that we have for dumb people. I'm just kidding, but anyway, these things are great. You know, you can do internet on the go, you can do emails on the go. I mean, all kinds of good stuff. You know, people like to drive down the road and do email. That's not good. But anyway. Just want to talk a little bit about these things today. A couple things I want to go over. One is going to be like viruses and adware and stuff like that for these things. And then also just talk a little bit about the quality of these things and what's good and what's bad. First thing I wanted to say though is, you know, these things do get viruses. It is possible. I personally have recently had one on mine. And it wasn't real bad, but what it was doing, it was going in and adding apps without me approving them, and it was taking stuff away, and really and truly, I don't know exactly what it was doing. It could have been taking information from me. It could have been doing all kind of crazy stuff. So if you ever see anything crazy going on with your phone like that, it's definitely good to take it somewhere and have them look at it. You know, you can bring it to somebody like us, or you know, another thing you can do, and actually what I just did was I just reset the whole phone. And that's actually the only way to get rid of the viruses, because once that stuff is on there, there's nothing you can do to actually extract it or anything like that. You know, there are places that say they can, but really and truly there's no way to know that you're going to get everything off. So the best way to do it is to just erase the whole thing and just start over. And actually you can do that at home. There's a setting in here somewhere that allows you to do stuff like that. And I would recommend backing your stuff up first, your pictures, videos, stuff like that. And again, most of these things actually have a service installed on the phone to where you can do that, and it backs it up to, you know, Google's computer somewhere or Apple's computer somewhere. Very good idea. But anyway, another thing you can do is get you an antivirus program for these things. You know, you can get the free ones. I will say, through some research and stuff, the free ones that you put on here are not quite as good as the paid ones yet. The free ones, they don't actually cover the whole operating system, is what I have found. A lot of times all they do is they scan the stuff coming in, and that's not the best thing with these phones yet. So, you know, there's a few we can recommend. You know, there's one called Bitdefender that makes a good paid one for these, and they're not real expensive. I don't remember the exact cost, but you know, Avast makes one for these things. There's several companies out there. Norton makes one. We don't really recommend them, but anyway. So, you know, the biggest thing, though, with a phone, get you an antivirus for your phone. Do something, you know, because they are becoming more and more common, so it'll be good to protect it. The other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, the quality of the phones and who to go with. You know, hey, do you want Apple? Do you want Samsung? Do you want HTC? Whatever. You know, Apple does make a good product. There's no doubt about that. The thing with Apple versus, you know, like a Samsung or something, obviously is going to be the operating system. You know, the Apple has their own thing. I will say the Apple phone is not as user-friendly as an Android phone. You know, Android is the operating system that Samsung uses, or HTC or Motorola or whatever. You know, you just can't do as much stuff with the Apple phone as you can with the Android phone. You can't customize it as much and stuff like that. You know, with one of the biggest things with the Android system is you can add these widgets. A widget is like you can add a big calendar to your screen, or you can add a big music player, or you know, stuff like that. A little button for the flashlight. You know, stuff like that. So I personally like the Android system better. It's a little more user-friendly than the Apple system. So I would typically recommend doing the Android. Now, some people are just totally, you know, love Apple, and that's fine. Again, they do make a good product. There's nothing wrong with the actual Apple phone. You know, the iPhone 5, the iPhone 4, all that stuff. Great products. You know, on the Android side, there's typically two manufacturers that make real good phones. The number one phone that always gets the best ratings and performance and all that stuff is called the HTC One. They don't do a whole lot of advertising and stuff like that, and they're not Samsung, so you know, people tend to kind of move away from them, but they make the best Android phone, hands down. There's no doubt about that. You know, close, or not a close, but a runner-up, you know, is going to be the Samsung phone, you know, the Galaxy S4, and I think the S5 is about to come out now. And even the Mini, I actually have the Samsung Mini S4, and I love it. It's a great phone. And HTC actually makes a Mini phone also. I just couldn't get it, but anyway, good performance, both for the HTC and the Samsung. They're both quick, you know, aren't going to crash as much, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, that's what we recommend, definitely, is either the HTC or the Samsung. And again, we also recommend the Apple phone, you know, a good product, no doubt. But that's it for today. Make sure you stay safe, you know, surfing on the internet and stuff like that with any device. You can get viruses real easy by going to bad places. So keep that in mind. It's like anything else. But thanks for the Reboot Tech Tip today. Again, my name is Isaac Rhodes with Reboot Computer Company.
Hello, Walton County. This is Kevin Little with the Chairman's Report on Channel 16, Walton Entertainment. Today it's July the 3rd. It's approaching the 4th of July, and got holiday weekend and midsummer hot time, and hope things is going well in Walton County for you. It seems to be going really well on the county side. Back in April, I was sworn in as president for the State Association County Commissioners of Georgia. I'm very excited and humbled to be voted by my peers to be representing Georgia all over the nation for counties, and I'm excited to be representing Walton County throughout Georgia as the president. And one of my initiatives as president is to get the campaign kicked off to let citizens know what their county government does for them in their county. And so the marketing thing that we're working on is "You Are Why We're Here," and it's what it does is it's a virtual county that you walk through, and it tells you different things about what goes on in the county. This is if you first click onto it, it's got the street, says ambulance going down the street, police cars, airplanes flying through, and but if you go to like the courthouse, flag goes up and it tells you what goes on there. And the libraries and the parks and the water treatment facilities, the courthouse, you know, tells you what goes on in there and everything. But it's called youarewhywe'rehere.com or .org, and your children and you and everything, no matter what county in Georgia you're in, or you want to go on, you can click on, just choose the county. You can see what their commission is like, what their tax rate is, what the population, what the county seat, and so it gives you a lot of opportunities to be able to learn about county government. And there's a lot of options on the website there, and something entertaining for adults and children to let you learn about the counties in Georgia, when they were founded, what's the main archives, things about them. It's just something that's really exciting to be able to promote, because for years and years, schools and everybody has taught about the cities and what goes on. Everybody knows about the mayors, but a lot of folks don't know about their county commission and what the county commission. You know, the county's responsible for them and the sheriff, the upkeep of the jail, and providing fire, EMS, animal control, parks and recreation, and you know, just human services is what the counties are responsible for all over Georgia. And a lot of folks, including you, the citizen, complain a lot of times when you get the tax bill, you know, $300 or $400, and you don't think you get anything for that. But this gives you the opportunity to go and find out exactly what you're getting for your dollars, and it's a little, hopefully, that school teachers and even some schools across the state will start incorporating this into their civics program. That way students will know and learn about what's going on in the county. I know I've spoke at Loganville Middle on a couple occasions, and I've been to Carver Middle and talked about careers and jobs and actually just what goes on in county government. And it's kind of alarming that the children that's grown up here in Walton County don't know exactly what all we do and what all any county provides. So one of my initiatives, the president of ACCG and your chairman of Walton County, is to promote this "You Are Why We're Here." And so this is what I'm going to be promoting this summer through my presidency, and I hope it will really take off. ACCG is really behind it, and we got a good marketing effort. And so check it out and give me a call if you have any concerns or questions. And but you are why we're here, and you'll be seeing some of these on our county vehicles. We're going to be putting the tags on the county vehicles. That way it'll let people know what's going on. And but until next time, give me a call if you have any problems. 770-267-1316. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for tuning in today. As always, we're going to show you some of the dogs and cats here at Walton County Animal Control, but I'm sitting in this hot truck for a reason. You know, in the news recently, there's been the tragic news of infants dying in vehicles, and we've been getting a lot of calls already this summer about dogs locked in vehicles at shopping centers, at stores, and so I just decided to get in this vehicle. You know, it's only 85 degrees outside right now, partly cloudy, but I got in here and I've only been sitting in here a couple minutes and I'm already sweating profusely. The temperature is well over 90 degrees in this vehicle, about, you know, almost 100 degrees, and just sitting here for a few minutes has got me sweating. One thing you have to remember about your dog doesn't sweat. The only way your dog can cool down is to pant. And so they're gonna expire a lot more quickly than a person. We can take it longer in a vehicle, but you know, it might be just a quick run into Walmart or a quick run into a store, but you know, you can come out and find your dog in heat exhaustion and sometimes even dead. So we just want to make that announcement when you leave your pets at home, or if you're able to leave the car running with the AC on. But you know, this time of the hot summer, just leave them at home where they're comfortable indoors in the air conditioning. You won't have any problems. We've already had several calls in the last few weeks, and the police and animal control have the authority to break your window open and get that dog out. And we don't want to do any of that, and we certainly don't want any dogs dying in vehicles. So just be smart in this hot weather. You can see how much I'm sweating. I could only imagine a dog sitting in here. So be a responsible pet owner and do what's right by your pet. And now we're going to show you some of the dogs and cats that are available for adoption here at Walton County Animal Control.
What we have here today is a black chow, solid black tongue, male dog, and a good pet, very friendly.
This is a lab mix puppy, about 3 months old, male, looking for a good home. We have 2 more males also, just like him.
Stay right there today. Hi, this is Astro. He's a 5-year-old male, neutered German Shepherd, looking for a good home. He's very obedient. Good dog, got a lot of energy, so hopefully somebody can adopt him. This is about a 4-year-old male neutered Cocker Spaniel, tan. Definitely a good dog, looking for a good home. Not sure if he's good with any other dogs, but he's definitely a good-looking dog for a Cocker Spaniel.
We got a 4-month-old Grand White female. She's very sweet. And is very playful. We have several other kittens also. We are full of cats and dogs coming in. It is summertime. If you're interested in adopting, please come and adopt from us.
Hello, my name is Anita Peters with Peters Realty Professionals in Loganville, Georgia, and I have some beautiful homes to share with you today. Information deemed reliable but not guaranteed. Hello, my name is Anita Peters with Peters Realty Professionals in Loganville, Georgia, and I have some beautiful homes to share with you today. Information deemed reliable but not guaranteed.
Your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. Now that's living healthy and green.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.